famous for a while, but I'm still up in my zone. And I don't usually smoke, but I'm high on sativa. G-word in my tea, I smell like heaven, I'm a diva. In the league, so loud, I'ma speak at the echo, now you know where I'm gone. Don't you be blowing up my phone, I'm in a different time zone. Ever since the matter of time, my girls is better than mine. Oh, the band is the good, you am, but you still don't know how to handle your mind. That's probably why you hit me more. You ain't got a rule, cause I did it before. There's no the Jones and don't fuck them no more, cause they just fall in love if you fuck them before. Don't get me wrong, I really like it when we're vibing. I'm in another city, shh, be quiet.
Calling my phone, bitch, they got me gotta go home, bitch. Came out all of my phone, bitch. These numbers eating my phone, shit. The juice they got it. From city, she still on it. Switch whips on the week, she saw it. It's been 2 years, I can put my jaws, and they felt like one, she called it. She called me the
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Rose League. We're here with the Platinum Quarterfinals, the last one, because we've obviously had 4. This is the last one between the Lost Coyotes and Project Ascension. Winner will be going on to the semifinals to face the Hanamura Hellhounds. I am Man of Class, and I'm joined here by my wonderful, but a little bit stingy, Platinum Thistle.
Hello, everybody. How are you all doing?
I mean, I can't really respond to you, I think, but
I'm
if they
expecting them
can,
to respond in the chat.
they're probably amazing. Obviously, they're the chat.
If you don't
Twitch
respond in
is
chat, you're gonna make me look bad, guys. You got to do it now.
Yeah, they never respond to me somehow. I don't know what it is. It might just be me. But at least we're here to do some Overwatch, and yeah, Platinum Division obviously not the same thing as Overwatch League. It's just not. But that doesn't mean it's not good and it's not fun to watch. What are your thoughts on like Platinum games? Because like I said, they're very different from like the higher tiers, like the really high tiers of play. What are the things you find interesting about it?
Well, there's a couple things I find interesting. The first thing is that people are generally less reliant on GOATs, so we might see some more interesting compositions in this kind of matchup versus what you might see in the Overwatch League. But then there's also possibility of a lot more mistakes made by Platinum teams. And then the last part could possibly just be that some of the time Platinum teams and lower ranked teams other than our Overwatch League friends will have a little bit more fun with their games. So that's also something to look forward to.
Okay. So if they would be on stage, we just see a lot of piñata hats and a lot of smiles on the faces all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I mean, I always have a smile on my face when I talk about Overwatch because I mean, it's just a great game. Even when I complain about Overwatch, I'm still laughing. I don't know what it is. Maybe I have a disorder. Yeah.
It's called Blizzard.
I'll have someone look into it. Maybe in like a month or 2 or 3 years or I don't know when.
Yeah.
But I think we're
never becomes a problem.
I think we're gonna be ready to jump in the game anytime because we're gonna get on with our first map. I believe it's gonna be Busan, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
This is always a tense moment for me because I'm always waiting like which stage are we gonna get first. Looks like it's gonna be downtown. These are lovely times for the train, although the train never seems to stop here. It just moseys on.
Still up in my zone, and I don't usually smoke, but I'm high on sativa. G-word in my tea, I smell like heaven, I'm a diva. In the league, so loud, I'ma speak at the echo, now you know where I'm gone. Don't you be blowing up my phone, I'm in a different time zone. Ever since
Yeah. Okay. So point two. Okay, so we're gonna go to another one on Busan here. Yeah, they took that one pretty convincingly, like we said. You know, and now we're thinking that Project Ascension is probably gonna change something.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
we are getting to Mecha Base. Oh, that's the one that you wanted for them, right? Because now the
Yeah,
Pharah is
yeah.
not as effective.
Yeah, that's the one that Lost Coyotes didn't want and Project Ascension did want, because FAR is not going to work as well on this map simply because it's going to be more forced close quarters.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they are not going to go for the Pharah right now. Obviously, it's still control, so we don't exactly know until they leave the spawn in like 5 seconds. But looks like it's going to be a Winston Goats versus a Reinhardt Goats. So only
Okay.
the main tanks will differ.
I'm gonna be interested to see this, just simply because the positioning of Project Ascension's Reinhardt is going to determine how effective Lost Coyotes is here with its cleave damage. It looks pretty effective right now.
I already see going for those tasty boops, gets them off the high ground, so that is definitely being taken over right now by Puff and the Zenyatta, gets those free firing angles, and they're just going to engage them on the point with Puff free firing, gets 1 kill, Jadir and Paul getting taken down by Ars Micho, and yeah, it does look like they're just going to clean this one up slowly but surely, and they're going to take first control of the point in just about a second. They do take Krev with them though, so that might come back to bite them.
Their target prioritization and communication are very, very clear. You can see them grinding down one target at a time. And like I said, Jack's positioning is going to be very, very important to watch because of the Winston for Coyotes. The more cleave damage you can get in, the faster he'll build Primal, and that's really, really important on this map. So let's see what he can do with it.
Throws it out, and there comes the charge. They do kind of cancel that one out a little bit with that charge, but it's not going to be enough for now. It is going to be chunking down those health bars with the Primal Rage, but everyone's still healthy. Both rallies coming out, and now the fight can actually ensue. There's the Graviton, there's the Transcendence, there's the Self-Destruct, and that's not going to get any kills, so it's actually going to be Jack getting the first one onto Krev here, and that could open up a lot of possibilities for this Reinhardt to move around a little bit more freely, but he's being corralled out of the way. It's just and Morsa taking him out, but Morsa gets charged as a result, so now we're going to be seeing what they're going to be doing with that. The sound barrier comes out from but doesn't have all the teammates left to really use that effectively on. They're just going to use it for a little bit of stall, which is going to be effective. Taken out by the Self-Destruct. Puff is going to be following, and it's just going to be Crab on the point, who's getting cleaned up as late. 59%, and now it's going over to the Project Ascension.
Crab kind of threw himself on the point very fast. I'm wondering if he's going to switch. No, he didn't. It just seemed a little bit like a needless suicide to me. But we have switched over to a Reinhardt composition here for Lost Coyotes, just simply because the Winston Primal was very countered.
What a brilliant. That is so nice from G-Tech. Nice showing up with the defense matrix. Didn't work against the fire, but works this time. Now the Graph came in, the Transcendence as defense, and they are still quite healthy. The main tank is a little bit low and actually gets the kill onto Jader and Paul, but there's a nice shatter from J-Jack. That's probably going to lead to this fight being over pretty soon. Morsa getting out of the mech, being fallen, and yeah, they get Puff, and they even get the stall into Morsa here. Nice.
You see, if you're Lost Coyotes here, you're not so incredibly worried. Because if you lose this map, then it goes, it moves on to the third, which is another good or decent far DPS map. So you're gonna have a pretty easy time on that.
Wait,
but
are we talking about intentionally throwing here?
I don't think so, because they don't want to get too overconfident.
The shatter got thrown into the shield though, so that's at least one thing that was thrown there. And now it's the Self-Destruct as a defense against Brad. Then the counter charge on Ars Micho also falls. The sole member in the Graviton, but Morsa joins him, and they both join each other in the grave as well pretty soon. Puff and Dash off the high ground will be on the point, but will be cleaned up. Yeah, and Puff just chooses the easy way out. 91% and counting. This could be a very, well, quick fight, because I don't think there's going to be really one.
Oh, just barely gets there.
It makes it. Yeah, it makes it, but, you know, it's just for Lucio. What can he really do? He can stall it for a little bit. They will eventually get the kill here, but in the meantime, on the other side, all the three tanks are already down. So it's going to be Puff and Krev, and yeah, that's going to be the mecha base. Sort of, I would say predictable, but you could have seen that coming a bit, right?
Yeah, we knew that Project Ascension was most comfortable on the goats, evidently from what they were running in downtown in our first run so long ago. And Lost Coyotes was not as comfortable on the goats because they ran that DPS, and they were kind of forced into the goats position just simply with the way that map was. So we're going to be seeing the back on the Pharmacy here with crew on the Tracers. So pretty much exactly what they're running in the first map, and maybe
well
actually some DPS for Project Ascension.
Yeah, possible. I mean, they're probably expecting this composition though, right? Like they've lost against the Mecha base, so they can very much expect to come out here as well. And they're going to run the Sombra and the Genji for themselves. With the Ana and the Lucio, it's a little bit different in support departments on either side. The Winston is the one constant, I'd say. I think that's the only thing that both teams have, and the Diva as well, like the tank line, but everything else is different.
Oh, yeah. And this means that the Sombra's job is now to take care of Dash with the Pharmacy.
Puff almost immediately dropped there. We're going to give a quick pause. I think someone disconnected there. But Puff went down to about 5 HP almost. It was a very quick, just jump on everything.
Yeah.
And does manage to live though. So, yeah, it's a good thing.
Sage actually almost dropped all the way down to I don't know, however much health, because he was direct hit with a damage boosted rocket as Ana, so he almost dropped immediately, just barely.
Well, I mean, he dropped out of the game because he got disconnected. So I guess same thing really, because he will be having to come out of now. But
he just kind of felt bad. He was at 5 HP, so he said, I need to give him a kill.
Yeah, and now you're going to set Jeddir and Paul going down, J-Tech and Jack also falling pretty soon after. So Sage and I, they're being there to heal them, a pretty big deal, especially went in for that dive, didn't get the kill onto Puff. Problematic.
And with Sage falling back, having the reset on the nano charge, just starting from 0 again, it's not going to be good, especially if they're going to be looking to get a lot of usage out of the Primal. They're going to be waiting a little bit longer for that to be coming online. That's not great.
That not fall soon. Of course, there's a lot of mobility, so we'll be back relatively quickly, but that means they cannot really set up a hack right now, which they probably would have wanted to do. Meanwhile, Sage building up to that nano boost relatively quickly. I mean, if all those tanks keep taking all that damage, that will not take that long. But the fight's not going to ensue until the Sombra's back, which is about now. So I'm guessing this is where they're going to go. Matt Nod going around that the big drop on the cliff side. Going over.
Take a look at the ultimate charges on both teams, though. We definitely have an advantage in this fight.
Yeah, and they're going to use some nice anti-net on Morsa, but will that open up for a kill? It doesn't look like it. Actually, Jeddir and Paul going down first. Jumpy Wizard following that from a nice pulse from Trev. And they throw the nano out onto Jack, but he just gets bursted down. So much damage incoming here for the defenders.
That was a little bit of a wasted nano there.
Yeah, I guess they thought they could maybe get the Primal up or something, because he was very close.
Yes. And most of the time, that's what you do with when you have a Winston on a combination on your team. You'll give the Winston the nano boost so he can get his Primal up much faster. But that only works if he stays alive for more than 10 seconds. So it was a little bit of a wasted combo, but they do have Primal coming into this fight. We're going to be seeing how that affects them when they engage here.
And maybe the ult advantage won't matter because there's an EMP online here for Matnod. He's gonna try and get a good positioning, especially get that Zenyatta out. But Matnod just gets bursted down by Arsmufo. They found the translocator, just bursting down. Puff now under fire from Jack, but Jack not able to get a kill from that because of the nice pocket from him. There's the barrage. Will not get any kills due to a nice sound barrier. There's the blade from Jeddir and Paul and the Transcendence as an answer. But there's still an EMP, which could still come in through the middle of this fight. Matnod is on his way. The too many have already fallen. And it still comes out though. Jack getting the kill onto Puff. It doesn't get everyone, but they do get both supports here. But yeah, I mean, you can get both supports, but you need to get some more kills, guys. You need to have some more members to get those kills out. So it's gonna be Lost Coyotes taking that map away. Makes sense for the EP to come out there. They really needed to win that fight, but Lost Coyotes. I mean, showing very good on those DPS comps here.
Very dominant performance on both first and last. And from this performance, I'm going to go ahead and guess that when they're going to be running our 2CP assault map later on, we will most likely be seeing them run some kind of bunker comp just because they do not like to run that goats composition, and bunker is right now the most viable on 2CP against the goats that is not a goats. That being said, we are moving into Junkertown for our escort map. So what are your thoughts on them choosing Junkertown over Dorado?
Honestly, Junkertown, on top of it being a platinum match, Junkertown is just the map where anything can happen in any match. So I'm happy to see them go there. It's a bit of a risk in other regards, but as opposed to Dorado, which was their other choice, there is a bigger swing potential. So yes, you can still run those heavier compositions, which work very well on the second and third point. But on the first point, it's a very open type of deal. I mean, it depends on what DPS you're good at. If you have a very good snipers, that is amazing. But some of the DPS like Genjis are not as successful.
Dorado is not Dorado. Junkertown's a very unique map in that for points 2 and 3, it's completely different than it is on point 1. Point 1 has almost no high ground, almost no cover. It's just way open space and a couple houses. So this is the kind of map where composition can... What?
They kind of swapped around the structure of some other escort maps with that, right? Like, it's this kind of feels like the streets phase, like the second phase of a lot of escort maps.
Yeah. So, because maps like King's Row will have this kind of area towards like the middle of it, where you almost never see teams get held, because it's so easy for the attackers to go through, which is why it's so rare to see attackers full held on Junkertown.
Now we can actually talk about some defensive compositions here, because they will be walking out of spawn and they will not be going back, because otherwise they won't be there in time. And they're running at full speed, so I don't think anyone's going to go back here. Platinum.
Just as I said, we're seeing a bunker composition come out from Lost Coyotes, probably in an attempt to counter what they think is going to be a goats composition. But it looks like we might be seeing a killdozer, is what it used to be called. Now a pirate ship with the Halt Hook combination, the new and improved Baptiste Immortality Lantern, and Matnot with Jayak as the cannon and sail. So we will be seeing those come in, and a pretty interesting Bastion v Bastion, Orisa v Orisa. Almost a mirror matchup here, not quite, but much closer than I was anticipating.
I mean, there's Jedi and Paul versus Dash, really, right? A Junkrat versus a Roadhog who's going to be pumping out more damage. And I would say the Junkrat usually does more damage versus shield. So a little less aim, but a lot more damage coming out in most situations. Plus, that tire can be huge.
And you can see we have the Mercy on both sides. That's a good time to point it out. Oh, here comes the amplification matrix.
Oh, but they get the Bastion, the one who's supposed to do all the damage to their Matrix, and he's not able to do so. He does get res, but the Matrix is already down. Now the Matrix is coming up from the defense, and they're doing the damage with it. Krev getting a double kill, with Jedi and Paul falling to oh, that's Ars Michel. That's a good name still. But yeah, I mean, they're doing fine so far. Dash hasn't got that much damage out, but didn't really need to. What happened there with those Matrixes?
Well, the biggest problem is Matrix goes down so fast that you're really expected to be able to have a Lucio in the attacking version of this comp, and that's exactly why we saw it there. That they were just not able to rotate fast enough to get away from the severe damage that's being pumped out by crew here. So it's just absolutely mental what they're throwing down. What a
crew out. But, I mean, you just could get walked back out. I mean, they do have some time to reposition now. They don't have to set up, but now the amplification matrix out, and there's no targets to shoot at. Will go down to the defense, but Ars Michel also falling. No res coming in this time, and that should probably get some space and maybe even the point. But that's such a huge tire. And then Krev gets a follow-up on the tanks and on the Mercy. It's never over until it's really over in Junkertown. This goes to show it. And, yeah, Orisa Mercy already on their way back, so this should prove well, especially with Cheetak still being alive. Will throw himself off the cliff, and that will just mean that they're not going to be a full free for a bit.
That's true. And Lost Coyotes, something to point out, they've been steadily pumping out ultimates, where a couple has been saved from Project Ascension. So they will have the ultimate advantage coming in here, even though they're not doing too well. 2 minutes already off the clock.
But Madnot already down as well. I mean, that's not what you want, because they keep having to use this res before the fight even starts.
Yeah. And there you go. They forced out immortality barrier already too.
Yeah, and now the shield goes down. There's the Invocation Matrix, but it's behind Madnot. They want to do more healing instead of more damage. That's a strategy you can go with. They get Krev. Krev is able to get res though. They do get the pool, but I don't think there's anything to do there. Madnot gets out the ultimate, but Krev is just there. The Amplification Matrix takes them down. Krev takes out more. Jake and Sage and G-Tech, Jumpy Wizard. I mean, you're still alive. Jedi Iron Pulse still alive, but not for long. And it's just so much damage. That's just what it is. It's just so much damage.
They're forced to completely switch up this composition here.
But they're not really doing it. The only thing they're switching is Jack.
That surprises me a lot. Okay.
Oh, there they go. There they go. Jedi and Paul. Yeah, they're all going. They're all going.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to switch up now.
Okay, so
only got 45 seconds left.
45. They have the ultimate on G-Tech. That could be very big because they're very stationary in that comp.
Yeah,
it does get the immortality fields. But Dash falls. They cannot res Dash. That's big. Jack actually gets a nice position. They get Krev as well. This res needs to come out here. And just gets killed by G-Tech. G-Tech finally getting a lot of plays out there. Yes, I think the Self-Destruct almost felt like a zoning tool so they could get closer. And now they're getting the game.
A lot of good space.
Falling as well. Morsa is getting out with the mech actually. Almost falling, but not entirely. And it's going to be so close here. Will they be able to contest again with this static defense that they have?
They will, but look at the ultimates coming in here. All 6 are going to be coming in and ready. Let's look at this Tire, see if it can do anything.
The Self-Destruct just zones them up. The Tire gets Madnot. They do get the Immortality Field out already, but Jack is just going on the point. They do get Krev, they get Puff. This could be a very good attack here for Ascension, but... they do get it. It looks like they're going to get the point here. Nicely done, though, with all those ultimates.
The ultimates all came down, and when the chips were on the table from both sides, Project Ascension was able to finally pull through. And this Wrecking Ball composition is always going to be very good, especially against Bunker. So Lost Coyotes are forced to switch up, seeing Dash go back to that Pharah pick, which has served him well in the past, so I can't entirely blame him. And there's the Lucio. They probably should have had that earlier for the transitions, and they're going to Goats now.
Yeah, they are going to Goats, and Goats is pretty good here in the second phase, but now the defenses on these DPS heroes that have been working very well for Project Ascension themselves. So are they going to be able to deal with it on their side? They're familiar with how it's played, but that doesn't always mean that they can defend against it. The Rockets are already raining down from Dash. Arsmiko just jumping in, does get out to the high ground, which they cannot follow on. G-Tech gets out of mech already. It's also finished off. They have no mercy to res this one up again. Is on the mercy though, so they could maybe res the Winston if they zone it out properly. Does look like they want to go for that right now, but the damage just keeps raining down. Dutch already on that barrage here.
And this is the kind of composition that is going to be very, very difficult for Project Ascension to break, because they only have one dive hero in G-Tech, launching the bomb right over.
Self-Destruct doesn't get anything, but they did zone them behind that board, so it means that they could just freely keep pushing the card. And yeah, Master standing there. A lot of free push. But there's the Nano Visor, and that should be doing a lot of damage, but no one's really going down right now. So Krev, I mean, not throwing that one to the wind, but the targets that he needed to get just weren't there. Now the Self-Destruct comes in, gets Jack, G-Tech out of mech. There's Mirage from Dash. This is what they were waiting for, and they get all the value out of those ultimates. Yes, Dash will go down. That should be okay. You just need to not let Madnot solo cap this point, and it looks like they're maybe gonna do that. Morsa is alone on that cart, and Arsmiko just left it alone. They're just gonna push it in because Arsmiko did not see the Zarya that was cleaning up the rest of the point on Morsa.
That's just a real shame there. That should have been a 1 point. They finally got themselves a foothold, and they were just too aggressive. Project Ascension managed to inadvertently take complete control and take complete advantage of the aggressiveness of their opponents, and just end up riding it home there with what shouldn't have been a back cap, but ended up being a back cap.
It was a high charge Zarya with almost a grab ready on full health, and now Matnaw does go down, still on that same high charge, still with the grab ready, but didn't get it out. Jumpy Wizard also falling. They did get Ars Miko down, so not a lot of card contests left besides Morsa, but it doesn't look like they want to go forward because they don't really feel like they have any tools to work with the 4 members they have.
One of the biggest picks you can get in this composition, especially, is Zarya or the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt just because he's the main tank in what he does, but Zarya resets her charge, which means he's not going to be doing as much damage out of the gate. So that's going to be your first priority in building up some charge to do some actual real damage here. That's the only DPS aside from the Zenyatta that you'll be getting.
There's a nano barrage, doesn't get any kills. They do get G-Tech out of mech here, but that's just an ultimate that gets countered by the Transcendence and the shield from Jack to a large degree. There's a grab, it's on Ars Miko, immediately grabbed up, will not be able to live there, but it's the only target they get in there. And does get the res denied here, so they will be able to pull forward, but nice anti-nade gets G-Tech really low. It's a little bit of back and forth. And I don't know if they finally noticed Puff behind them. Puff has to now 1v1 G-Tech, actually gets the sleep off, might be able to get a pick on Sage here. No, Puff eventually gets cleaned up, but they needed to all turn around for that. There is the Visor Trev, gets Sage already. The bomb not getting anything, zoning a little bit, but not getting the card max progress. There's another barrage, Jack going down from it, but the DPS is down for the defense. Trying to fly away, will not be able to do so. Ars Miko is only there, but there's the self-destruct. Again, doesn't get anyone, but at least buys a little bit of space and time. G-Tech is still out of mech, and doesn't have it back quite yet. Jumpy Wizard Purple will not fall either. There's just a lot of things being tried here by the defense, but they're not getting it out here, and the attackers getting closer and closer to those final meters of Junkertown. They're just jumping around the point here. Puff gets the pick on Sage. That's going to actually be really big because it's a lot of healing gone here, but they need to keep getting those kills. Both sides need to keep getting the kills. There's the grab from the attackers. Goes down. Jack goes down as well, so they're still trading out, and that's going to favor the defense with those respawn advantage.
Absolutely, but Project Ascension cannot get the advantage moving into here with those picks, or else it spells doom for Lost Coyotes no matter what. What a beautiful
and they keep getting the kills. I mean, the Krev does fall, but they're still going. They're still going here. On the cart will probably fall here as well. It's going to be the map completed in overtime, though.
After a very, very shaky start.
Yeah, they really took a while to get going, didn't they?
Yeah. Project Ascension definitely made their mark. They ended up completing it in overtime, which is probably in the end what Lost Coyotes was most hoping for, especially after the mistakes they started making. They started slipping, couldn't find themselves a grip, and they just kind of lost it throughout the rest of throughout after first point. They had such a good setup, and what do you think we're going to be seeing coming out here from Project Ascension when it comes to?
I should be asking you that question, right?
Yeah, but I feel like if I predict anything, I'm going to get it wrong because I already got the.
That's fine. I'll take the fall. I'll take the fall. Both these teams apparently are fine running bunkers on the first point. So, yeah. Honestly, I'm just expecting bunkers to come out. I mean, maybe not on the defense, but definitely on the offense. Because whenever I play Junkertown, which currently my accounts are mostly in platinum because I play like once a month. Yeah, it's mostly bunkers that are being played in Junkertown. It's most of the time, at least one of the teams will do it. And whether they put a Bastion on it, that's a little bit different. But that Orisa-Roto combination is almost always played, or at least the Orisa is so popular here. So I doubt we'll see anything else, but it could be Sniper still. It's possible.
The pirate ship combination with Orisa Bastion is very, very popular, especially now that we have Baptiste in the game. So it's good. It's definitely something to be watching out for, especially since they're rotating all the way to the right-hand door. So they're going to be trying to get that boost straight onto the objective.
Dash is again on the Junkrat, though. So this could be that same relation that we saw coming up before, that Roto versus that Junkrat. You already see the nades just falling out from a much larger range than anything can provide on the defense. So they're actually going to set up on this high ground, this safer high ground to get to, because there's nothing really they can do for them to get there. Jack going very low, G-Tech going very low. They don't get the kills, but they do make them back off. That means they can start moving the cart relatively freely here.
And as they're pushing forward, there's something that they gotta look for. They gotta look for where they're rotating. Project Ascension has got to look out for where Lost Coyotes is rotating. to make sure that they don't end up putting themselves in more harm's way when they reset up.
There's already gets higher, and it's going to go in deep. They need to get that immortality out first, but G-Tech's actually going to be the one to fall because Dash wanted to do some self-protection. The mech is gone, but there is the amplification matrix on Matnot. Is just going to smelt them, but G-Tech also going down, Krev being rezzed again. This could still go the other way, but I feel with Arsmiko down, they can't really push because Matnot will have that shield all day long.
Yeah. And while they're moving forward, Matnot does have that tank, so does Krev, but Sage does not have the amplification matrix, whereas Puff does. So if they both get set up, we're going to be seeing a huge advantage from Lost Coyotes here, assuming that they get it out.
Oh, there's the amplification matrix that you use it. Matnot immediately going down, and I don't think that's a resistible position, so Jumpy Wizard is going to back off here. And that means they have a free position on the card with so much more damage. And yeah, Jedi and Pearl tries to go for the hook, doesn't get anything here. So it's going to be G-Tac going out of the mech. The immortality field has already fallen. Yes, they put up a shield, but that shield's not going to last for long, Jack. You're just going to go down. So is Jedi and Paul. G-Tech tries to do something from the back with that Baby Diva, but I don't think you're going to get much done with that. So it looks like it's going to be the point cap pretty soon here for the Lost Coyotes, but that took them, it didn't took them as long as it did for the Ascension, but it's still good 2 minutes burned.
That was definitely, it was better than what Project Ascension went through, but also what you got to remember is Lost Coyotes got steamrolled pretty much on the second and third point. So if Project Ascension
switches coming out here now. But do you think they just didn't get the chance to switch because they just spawned too quickly, or like what happened there?
I mean, most likely.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. So they go back to the new spawn because they couldn't switch in time.
I think,
and now they're on goats. Yeah.
But it looks like Lost Coyotes will be keeping the bunker comp, and why not?
Well, they're already on the card, yeah.
Yes, anyway.
Let's go. Never another tire, so Dax is definitely going to be happy with that one. And both levels already used. This would be perfect timing, but they don't even need it. Just Jedi Iron Paul, Jack, and Jumpy Wizard already going down. The 3 Js not living today, and it's going to be Sage. Falling next. Matt not falling. G-Tech gets out with the mech life, but yeah, you might as well just not have lived there. I think it helps a little bit with the support ult build, but that's like the best thing you can say about it, I'd say.
Puff seems to be very trigger happy when it comes to using that immortality field, which is something that should definitely be punished by Project Ascension when they can. He threw it down before the fight even really began, so they could have waited off a little bit and then pushed straight forward when that came out. And with the shield open to them, it would have been a really easy pick on the Krev because no shield, no barrier, and a pressure off the res would have been.
There they go on. The immortality field was actually missed entirely, so Krev does go down, but it gets res back up. The kills are trading out very well, but that self-destruct will not get anything because it was put on the platform. Self-destruct on the other side, though, will get 3. G-Tech on the field, gets all 3 of them. Just for a little bit of a repayment for killing the 3 Js on the last time, but definitely very nicely done here from G-Tech. Is on the board, and we're going to see Morsa being staggered out here.
And one thing to be looking at here, well, besides the fact that now Lost Coyotes is changing to goats, is that they've started making a better time than Project Ascension. They definitely got all the way through first attempt on point 2, which is exactly what Project Ascension did. So they're looking to make a better time now. But they've switched to goats, which is Project Ascension's territory. So if they're going to be watching,
they have dashed it on the Junkrat, and that's made a big difference already. G-Tech is out of mech here, and yeah, Puff popping off once again. There's the tire coming out. I don't think anyone's going to lift because there's no Zarya bubbles, and that's Jumpy Wizard and J-Jack going down once again. Sage is still there on the Zenyatta, G-Tech on the Diva, but they're not stalling the card. They're just getting their lives over later than they maybe need to. Jedi and Paul does make it back to spawn though, so not all the J's falling this time.
That's true. That's definitely true. Project Ascension has the 3 ultimates coming up on 4 that they're going to be able to come and contest the car with, whereas Lost Coyotes have used a lot of theirs, so they're not really going to have as many coming in here.
J-Jack already down, so that's a lot of shielding gone. You really needed that 2,000 health shield, but Arsmiko also falling. Transcendence coming a little bit late from Puff here, and it's going to be Matt not on the cart. Doesn't have the grab ready, but Morsa is very close. They could very well lose that to actually close out the fight, especially with that sound barrier coming out from There is it. There is it.
Oh, what a tire.
What a huge tire. Will G-Tech get another 3K? No. G-Tech will not get another 3K. Gets DMAC, gets killed as well, and that's the completion from the Lost
over
Coyotes.
2 minutes left in the clock, so that's definitely.
And they're going to get another minute.
Much better time.
They're going to get another minute because the overtime finish. So it's going to be amazing for them. And that first point defense for them was so good. They stalled it out for almost 4 minutes. So only 1 minute now on the clock. Needs to be a lot better attack here from Project Ascension.
That's true, but Lost Coyotes didn't have a perfect first round attack either, so they're going to need to speed things up a little bit as well.
But they did do it within 2 minutes, in about 2 minutes though, and they have 3 minutes on the clock. So if the exact same thing happens at last 2 rounds, this is Lost Coyotes map, and it definitely looks like theirs to lose. A little bit of a jokey thing. Agree.
But Project Ascension, as you can see, they've already learned from their past mistakes, so they're not going to be trying to run that pirate ship now. They're just opening up with exactly what worked for them in countering the composition last time. And as you can see, Lost Coyotes is doing the same exact thing. And you're right, G-Tech is on the Sombra, so they're expecting this bunker composition coming in. So Lost Coyotes may be pretty easily countered here by the composition that Project Ascension seems to be reading them like a book for.
But I mean, they need to get the damage in somehow, and there's not a lot of angles they could do that from. And meanwhile, they're just charging all the ultimates, especially the amplification matrix, the bastional. Those are ultimates that are going to be charged really quickly when you just send in all that damage, because they try to spam things down, but if they're not able to spam down the shield in time, then the brutality field comes out, then the bastion is going to win because they only have a minute. They need ultimates to break this.
I completely agree. Crew dropping dangerously low here.
Oh, it actually goes down because the shield is not there in time. Does get the res off here on So Morsa will be able to not get DMAC. Yeah, we'll be able to get the heal back up, but Puff is already down and Arsmiko as well. So this is a very good start to the attack here for Project Ascension. Like I said, learning from their mistakes, and the defense just wasn't ready for it.
Right now, Lost Coyotes is just going to be backing up here, looking to regroup and get everyone all completely ready to do a full defense. Because at this point, there's one fight left.
They're going to use Puff here on the Zenyatta. And they're going to go over to the Winston, the Diva, the Tracer, and the power of their own. So they're going to try and deal with it with the 2-2-2, which is often seen. But the Dragon does go out, actually gets spawned, but Madnot goes down before can do anything else with that. Sage is being harassed on the card. G-Tech going very low. Trev will fall here on the Tracer. Gets the res off though. That's a very risky res, but it pays off in the long time. G-Tech gets the kill onto Puff though, so numbers are definitely trading. Krev gets Sage, Earfall gets both Mercies are out, both Zenyatas are out. It's no healing. And nice EMP, but will it be enough? Because they still have Dash in the air. That could be a hard target to hit sometimes. And Dash doing a lot of work here. Gets a kill on Matnot. Does Dash also get the kill on Jack though? It's very possible because Jack is just in ball form, is not doing anything to hit that Pharah. The Pharah stays alive, the Mercy's there, and the overtime just takes down. Ooh. That's the 1v1 to decide it all.
That was Project Ascension's fight to win. There was just that's where you see the Platinum Division come in. The aim is not quite there, so they're not able to shoot the Pharah out of the sky. So there's just panic. Jack is just trying desperately to keep himself alive and on point to wait for the rest of his team to come in. And at the very last second, the overtime goes all the way down, and now they only have to get about 76 meters into the actual point.
I mean, you'd say the aim is not there, but let's be real, the aim is there for some people, just not for the hardcore main tank players, maybe. I don't know what Jack's sensitivity is on. Like, when I'm on Reinhardt and Winston, my sensitivity is like all the way turned up to 10. Well, it's not on other characters, because aim just doesn't matter. But when I'm on Wrecking Ball, it's just on my normal sensitivity, because, I also play DPS heroes, so like Widowmaker and like other like hit scan heroes. So it all depends on settings, and if you're just not ready to shoot a far out of the sky with that Wrecking Ball, then that can definitely happen to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Settings are important, people. Check them. Check your sensitivity. But yeah, I made a joke earlier in the last round before that about the three J's. They're actually a Dutch band. Like they're called all the guys have first names starting with a J. So that was where the joke came from. So that they on Project Ascension they have first names with a J as well. But hey, we're gonna see the defense come in. Aggressive Goats defense though. They want to immediately get onto this Bastion, but they do get the Reinhardt before that happens. So that's a big loss. The Orisa and the Bastion going down though, not being able to be res. As I say that, it's actually going to be the Orisa coming back in. Drake going down. Mercy going down.
They do have plenty of time, but they don't want to get cocky here.
Yeah, but I mean, they're very close here. They're very close holding as a defense, and the Reinhardt's still not there. It's almost like Jack is now coming back, but that could have gone a lot of other ways. GTech gets the mech back as well, so they can definitely just start playing now. They're going to go with this same Junkrat Goats composition, because Dash is close to the tire again. Worked out very well for the last time.
Definitely did. Dash has just been doing some solid work with the tire, especially now that that's feeling.
Got it already. There it goes. Boom. Yes, two. Sage and Jack already down. Matt now throws out the grab, but it's really too late already because there's no one to follow up on the damage. G-Tech out of mech will be followed up. That's the team kill. We hear the horn, and yeah, they're going to have a lot of free push here. Will there be another contest? I think so, but it will be very close.
Exactly. There'll be one fight left here. They've got to make it fast in order to be able to come back to contest. Jumpy Wizard's probably going to speed boost himself here by himself just to be able to contest.
Look at that old charge. Dash is already up to 50. It's not okay.
Hammer goes down.
Arsmicho is on point here. Jet Iron Pulse swinging around with that brigade, and it's going to be Arsmicho very far away from the fight because he charged all past it. We'll still get this Fire Strike on Sage, Jack on Crab, Jet Iron Pulse. It's going to be so close, but the tire's there. Gets another one. The Jumpy Wizard G-Tech on the point, but this will be finished out by the Lost Coyotes.
Celebratory transcendence there from Puff, and just a really, really nice win there from Lost Coyotes. It looks like they've found their calling. Dash on the Junkrat, and everyone else playing Goats.
Yeah. I mean, and not just that. They played a few other compositions, but that Dash Junkrat has been working out so well. The Pharah hasn't been bad from Dash, though. I will say that.
The projectile DPS from Dash has just been excellent.
Yeah. That's what you like to see. I really like to see more of it, but we'll see if that happens. Los Coyotes, they win a map, and Project Ascension gets to go for another one.
So we will be.
They will go to assault here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Anubis or Hanamura, which
right.
we both love because they're amazing map.
Hanamura seems to be the pick.
I mean, I already hear the community saying at least it's not Paris, but Paris is a lovely map, guys. Don't be mean to Paris. We see a lot of fun stuff happening there. Like first.
But we also see it a lot, so.
Yeah, it's been in all the top tournaments and competitions right now. So I'm guessing people are getting a little bit bored of it, but you know what? We're getting Hanamura, so you can be happy about that one. Hanamura, though, I don't know. It's also been very popular with bunker defenses lately.
So we're going to be going to a halftime right just about now. So I guess we'll be seeing you guys pretty shortly.
Yeah, will definitely happen. See you on the other side.
Pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Would you use your water bill to dry the sea like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Do you tear yourself apart to entertain like me? Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Would you use your water bill to try to save me like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Do you tear yourself apart to entertain like me?
Welcome back on the other side of halftime for Lost Coyotes versus Project Ascension. We're potentially, we're going to be done with this pretty soon because Project Ascension is down 2-0 and they need to get going again because they were showing a little bit of promise here and there, but Los Coyotes has just been showing very strong here.
Definitely, and Project Ascension has made a substitution. They've substituted in Hedex for G-Tech. So that was that Diva Sombra player that we've been seeing from Project Ascension now swapped out. So what do you think they could be thinking? I'm thinking that they're going to try and go for a hit scan, knowing that these possible maps are coming up. Why do you think that Hedex could be being swapped in?
There are so many different reasons that could be possible. Like I could go over all their profiles now and just see like, oh, that person is usually plays more of this and more of that. And we see Hedex is actually very strong on the main tank currently. Like all competitive seasons, 72 hours of Reinhardt, 29 on Winston. Then the other tanks come out. So it looks like Hedex might actually be a tank player. So we could maybe see Jack going over to another role. And then like someone else doing some DPS. Like there's a lot of things going on, but Jack is also looking to be very much of a main tank player. So the logic could also be we play like Winston and Hammond or something like that. I mean, we have seen the triple tank dives come out. So I really don't know what the logic is behind it, but it doesn't look like it's necessarily going to be hit scan.
I think if anything, Hedex might go on the main tank and Jack might go on the Kree.
That's possible.
That's what I'm thinking.
A lot is possible because again, it's platinum. These people don't often have as what's it called, carved out roles as you have in like top tier teams where you need to specialize. So I'm not looking at their competitive play time, but who knows? Maybe they have another account or they do something else and they swap all the time, or in quick play they just play a lot of Widow. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to roll out with. And they might want to go with this triple DPS. I mean, we're going to look at the defense first because it's going to be a bunker again with Dash and the Junkrat. And Dash and the Junkrat, it's not been a dash. It's been a bash of just explosive in everyone's face. Oh, a pause. Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. That means you can talk a little bit more about Dash's Junkrat. That's not a punishment, Platinum.
I'm actually quite happy to talk about Dash's Junkrat. He's actually really quite good on these projectile DPS, which is one of those roles that sounds like it should be very specific in the way you can learn it, but compared to a lot of other roles, it's very diverse, because when you see a projectile DPS versus a hit scan DPS, with hit scans, all of their bullets travel the same way. You don't need to learn how to aim with different heroes different ways. But with the projectiles, everything is slightly different, because Junkrat has a different arc than Pharah has a different arc, then Genji has a different arc than Hanzo. So you'll really be seeing so many different capabilities and so many different patterns that you have to learn when you're playing projectile DPS. And that's why projectile DPS gets so famous so quickly at being good at this game. Like one of the most famous, if not the most famous Overwatch player was Seagull. And when he played for the Dallas Fuel, he was playing projectile DPS / Diva, and he had such a wide hero pool because when he was forced to learn projectile DPS, he practiced so many different compositions, he practiced so many different heroes, so many different play styles, that it was just easy for him to flex on the other roles. So seeing Dash going in between different heroes is no surprise at all.
Yeah, I mean, different heroes. We've seen him on Junkrat and Pharah. I mean, it's not that much different, but it's not a problem. You're gonna see that Junkrat come out again. I'm very interested to see. I mean, it's a lot of smaller, very mobile targets, which is often relatively annoying for Junkrat to deal with. But perhaps he can trap Madnot in the back. Not let that Sombra get close. There's a lot of potential here. But they're setting up the Bastion, setting up the Orisa. And but Pieces is going to be safe on the high ground behind them most of the time, I feel.
And it looks like Hedex is going to be coming in on the Widowmaker, which is really quite peculiar. I suggested that before, that might be coming in as a hit scan, but you were right. I did check the
The profile, right? Yeah.
Hedex is definitely a thorough main tank in every respect.
Yeah, it switches over to the Hanzo now. I mean, if you don't really want to aim, Hanzo is a very good solution. You can shoot arrows roughly in the direction of the enemy, and sometimes those chunks just go through their head. It's a very nice hero.
To the people.
Yeah, I mean, I often feel like I've dodged one and then it just hits my face anyways. They are pushing the point very heavily. There's already the there's already the immortality field down, and they're just rolling around. Jack is just rolling around here, but once again a disconnect happens. Jedi and Paul is already down at the beginning of this fight, so it's already not looking great for them. But yeah, I mean, something's not going right here, I feel.
I'm getting very high latency as well, so there might just be something wrong with the servers.
I mean, I get high latency, but I'm just an idiot that I cast from EU, so that's my problem. I don't notice any difference, but I would say about 200 is a bit higher than I usually have it. So I do agree, might be a little bit of a network issue from the Overwatch side as well. We'll see if the ping comes down for everyone. In the meantime, we could talk about a lot of things. You know what? How long has it been for you since you've seen the last Dragon short?
Since I've seen the last Dragon short?
Yeah,
oh man,
Hanzo and Genji.
That's 100% my. It was my favorite short until the Reinhardt short came out.
I know, right? The Reinhardt shorts. You know, the scene where he gives him a hammer. You know, die with glory, my friend, and then just turns around. He's in, yeah.
I'm getting chills.
I promise you guys, I didn't cry, but
I did.
I mean, I don't know if I don't remember. I've watched it so many times now. I don't remember which was my first time. I just know I cry every time. Jack really going down on Crab. We're back into the game. Morsa is hacked up, but will not really be followed up on. Jedi and Paul is going to that barrage pretty quickly, but I don't know if that's going to be the tool to really break it. They need to lead a little bit more than that, I feel.
Yeah, and Hedex's Dragon Strike is actually probably going to be one of the bigger aspects when it comes to breaking this composition, which is a shame because he's been disconnecting so much. His ultimate charge is not going up as fast as it could be.
Krev and Orsmiko go down. Who do you res? Can you res? Yes, they can res Krev back up, but there's no shield to set up now. Goes down. Does get the kill on Matt now, but the EMP was already out, so Morsa and Krav will just get taken out, and it's going to be the Baptiste and the Junkrat left. But Baptiste using his amplification matrix there, who is he really going to kill? He gets some extra healing out, but he just goes down, and that might have been an ult you won back.
I think he's probably contemplating. That's probably why he put me. If not, then you're 100% right that was a mistake.
He's still alive. He is still alive. They're still here on the defense. How is Puff still alive? I mean, they do only have a Lucio to clean up. Hedex once again out of the game. What is happening with this guy?
I did just get a latency spike right before he left.
I mean, that is why is it only happening to one player though? That's we might just have to get G-Tech back in because this is looking a little bit shaky here.
Yeah. We have our referee calling for a sub out, so G-Tech is saying that he will come in.
That's gonna happen. Cool. So G-Tech is gonna come in. That is, I mean, it's a bit of a shame, but on the other hand, it should not be problematic to them cleaning up this point, but I do believe Krev is back, is hacked up now. Is still on the point. I don't have quite the full force on the attackers there, so it still play out a little bit interesting here on this point.
Definitely, and one thing to be looking out for is what role G-Tech is going to be picking up on when he enters. Will he be picking up on that Hanzo now that he is no longer in the roster? Yeah, looks like it. We're seeing a pretty decent brawl coming out of the point, and Jack dropping relatively low and throwing out the mines. Tyre's going to come in here, see if it can do any damage.
It's gonna, but it's so close. Oh, it actually gets Jack, as Jack was gonna go for the Junkrat kill, but doesn't get it obviously when he dies to that Tyre. Goes down. There's self-destruct coming out. Gets two. Morsa actually coming in with a clutch. Not G-Tech with the triple, Morsa with the double. And they do manage to hold on. Only 50.5% captured as well.
Very, very impressive. Regardless, DC and the sub for that was a very impressive hold because they started to turn that around before there was even the DC from Project Ascension. So it was very impressive to see that whole thing go through, especially the stall from Puck. So I think that was very, very interesting to watch. Seeing another defense come in.
I mean, they're on the point, but they don't really get anything when Jumpy was and Jedi and Paul already going down. There's only one J left, and Jack is holding up that shield, now swinging the hammer because Transcendence is out from Sage, but they don't get any kills. They need to get kills for this, and they're just not getting it. They swapped over to this Goats composition because, you know, they kind of felt like they needed to, but they only have 25 seconds left and nothing really to work with yet.
When they're going to be walking forward, they have no ultimate, and we will be seeing the area denial ultimate, the minefield coming in for Lost Coyotes, and the tire.
The tire from behind, and they do get it this time. Fire strike from Jack saves the day potentially, but Jedi and Paul is down to Krev already. So much damage coming in. There are the mines zoning out a little bit of an exit, but not really getting any kills. And the boop from Jumpy Wizard actually gets Ars Miko off the point. G-Tech falling to Dash's mine here, and there's the sound barrier.
Oh, what a boop!
What a boop! Oh my god, you thought they had it. Jumpy Wizard throwing up the main tank, but just answers with the main tank and the main support, and that's going to be the hold for the Lost Coyote.
And if the Lost Coyotes takes, I think it was just short of 60%, they will win this series.
Yeah, it'll just be over, just like that. I mean, with all the DCs, I feel like we've always been on pause more than we've been on playtime when it comes to that.
Yeah, and Twitch being down earlier didn't necessarily help.
It didn't help. No. Let's not get bogged down over who DC'd when, what actually went wrong. We've already to play the Overwatch game out, and it's gonna get played out. But like you said, 50.5%, and that is, I mean, it's still more than 33.3, and there's still possibility for a win. But first point holds with under like 80% are very rare.
Definitely very rare. And it's going to be something I'm very, very interested to see how Project Ascension is going to be pulling this off. And it looks like Sage is going to be playing the Moira, which so far we've only seen him do in order to be able to get back to the point faster. So not much success, but that's usually because it's been an extremely dire situation where success was unlikely anyway. So I'm going to be very interested to see him play Moira when it's not a dire situation. They're going to have a lot of healing here.
Yeah, because why does the Moira come out instead of Zenyatta here? What do you think?
because of the healing. 100%, they want to hold up near choke. They want to be able to hold up there and build that coalescence very fast, be able to just pierce through the entire battlefield and keep all their main tanks up. If they're going to be running straight into this DPS composition, they need the Moira. And
they're gonna go for the teleport strat. The Symmetra is out.
Oh my gosh, they might just be able to do this here.
Are they gonna go behind? No, they're gonna teleport in the middle of them. I think the teleport might have been booped away a little bit, and now they're gonna be stuck in the middle of them. Jack is actually anti-nated up a little bit, but they got the turrets already. I think there's one of the members that got behind them. It's gonna be the Lucio and but the rest of them are still in the gate. It's actually gonna be Jack falling first because the Lucio is distracting so much, and now they're on the point. They're already there. Ars Miko going a bit low, but just gets healed back up, and all those turrets from Symmetra being so annoying to deal with. Is on the full charge beam. There's already the tire. Gets to Jumpy Wizard also down. This looks like it's gonna be done and dusted pretty soon here, Platinum Thistle.
Yeah, very quick. Under a minute.
Just chaos. They created so much chaos. First the teleporter.
It's Junkrat.
Yeah, but not just that. I mean, somehow got behind them on the Lucio, which is on the point jumping around there, and then they sort of try to send half the team back to deal with the Lucio, but then Jack just got caught out on the front line, and they just created chaos with basically everything they had, not just the Symmetra and the Junkrat.
Oh, definitely. And do we play fourth map?
I mean, we don't have to because it's a quarterfinals, so it's just elimination match, right?
Yeah. Okay. So no. Producer says we're not. Producer says we're not playing fourth map. So that's it. That's the game. 3-0 Lost Coyotes to Project Ascension.
I mean, it was still a good series. I mean, we saw a lot of interesting plays being made, regardless of the outcome of 3-0. I mean, it doesn't always reflect the scoreline. I think the scoreline is accurate, but the maps were just a little bit closer than you might have thought. I mean, going to extra rounds in Junkertown, especially, and
Definitely.
also, it wasn't a 2-0 on Busan with 200 to zeros. So, definitely something to be said for Project Ascension doing pretty well here. Just Project Los Coyotes, a little more adaptable, little stronger in most two competitions that they ran, and also they had more answers to most of the things that Project Ascension was running to them. So yeah, nicely done for them.
It seems like what really won Lost Coyotes the game is that Project Ascension ran what's known to be successful, whereas Lost Coyotes ran what they knew they were comfortable with, what they knew they could pull off with the least amount of mistakes, and that's what ended up winning them the game, because they took the route that they knew was the best for them as a team, and not just the route that's the best for teams in general in the league, running that DPS composition rather than running goats. So as we're wrapping up, we're going to pass it to the chat and to each other. Who was your player of the match?
That's a good question, because there's actually quite a few. I mean, my mind just wants to say, oh, I might want to go for Dash here, but I'm actually going to go for Puff. Puff did so much work on the flex support. On the Zenyatta, I got so many early picks, a lot of right clicks, a lot of just 1v1 situations in the back line, and that last thing on Hanamura, where on the Baptiste, just able to stall that point out, chase people away, and actually get a kill or two. That was just, I mean, that's one of the situations where I always say he cannot get away with it. You cannot keep getting away with it.
Absolutely.
And that's why I would give it to Puff personally. I don't know if you have a different one to highlight, but
I'm going to give it to Dash, just because of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
The amount of rip tires that he had gotten just over and over and over again, always getting at least one person with each rip tire. There was only one rip tire ever that got destroyed of his, and every single other one got at least one person, if not more than that, just doing absolute work on that DPS slot. So there you have it. We're going to have Puff and Dash as our two players of the matches. You guys can go ahead and light up the chat with whoever you think is the player of the match.
Team, though, don't we want to talk about who was good on Project Ascension as well? Because I mean, we can just keep highlighting like Lost Coyotes, but there's got to be something we can talk about at Project Ascension here, right?
I mean, Project Ascension did do a very good job. Don't get me wrong there, but when it comes to player of the match, I have to give it
player
to
of the team. Then, so we're gonna go to player of the team. Then, who was a player of the team for Project Ascension? You gotta pick someone, you know.
I would probably say G-Tech, simply because the one map that they had the most success on was Junkertown. And the main reason for that is when they were first assaulting, G-Tech was on the Sombra and got into the back line, and before fights would even start, get at least a pick, and then Lost Coyotes were forced to come to the fight anyway. So he definitely turned the tide for his team a lot. And on first map on Busan, on Mecha Base, he did excellently with the D.Va. So for Project Ascension, I would say G-Tech.
Yeah, I think I could probably agree with that. Also came in clutch, when one of the players didn't have the proper internet connection, just came back into the game no matter what. So that's always something that's MVT, MVPT, most valued player of a team.
Yeah,
I don't know, or maybe we're making up a new role here. I wouldn't necessarily have to go there, but I guess that was it. Good quarterfinals, and they're gonna go up against the Hanamura Hellhounds next in the semis. So Platinum Division coming to an end here in this Rose League season. It's been a wild ride from what I hear.
Yeah, are we hosting anyone, Mr. Prod? Well, stick around. We might be hosting someone. If not, go to bed. It's past your bedtime.
It is for me. I can tell you that one.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
But yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely light up chats wherever you go, even if you're not on the Rose League chat. Twitch loves it. And we'll see you guys next one. I've been Man of Class, and this was the wonderful Platinum Thistle on my side.